I suppose this is one of the most critical debates that we've had to debate here since I came up here to Dublin, to Dolly, and it's of critical importance what's going to happen on the 1st of January. It has critical significance for farmers, business exporters and importers, hauliers, fishermen, for so many different sectors of our economy. And we are told, even by the Department of Finance recently, that 1 in 7 could lose their jobs because of Brexit. And I fear that will hurt our side of the country worse than anywhere else, that being rural Ireland and rural Kerry. I'm asking and hoping that the government and our minister here for Foreign Affairs to minimise the disruption to our economy, whatever way and whatever way they can in the talks in the coming days and weeks before the end of the year. Minister, I heard you going through the bill, and you mentioned that for northern residents that they would be reimbursed if they were to travel to Europe or even to Dublin or to the south of Ireland for treatment, that be medical treatment for whatever reasons, or that they couldn't find the treatment in the 6 counties. But you didn't mention, Minister, the same thing for our residents going northwards to Belfast, and I can't understand that. Yeah, surely we should be seeing after our own before we see after anyone else. And to go back a year ago, yourself, Minister, you promised that when we asked the question about continuing the cross-border directive after Brexit, you promised us that a bill would be introduced to ensure that a bilateral arrangement would be had between England and Ireland in relation to travel across the border, we'll say, to achieve, in our case, cataracts, where people would have gone blind if they were in the last 3 years now, coming up 3 years now, many people would have gone blind. I fear almost 2,000 people would have gone blind if we didn't put that service in place. And I'm very proud and glad that both myself and Deputy Collins from West Cork got that service going. Him in Cork and myself in Kerry, we were the first to do it, and I'm very glad and proud that it has been successful. But we're very worried now, because it seems that political expediency is coming into this now, and that Fianna Fáil and some Fine Gael deputies are anxious to stop us and to stop that service. Because in recent days I was very disappointed to hear a Colin Burke, a deputy for Cork, a companion of your own, a co-deputy with Micheál Martin in Cork, to think that he suggested that we should be stopped, and that the service should be stopped at this time. Little does he know how important it is to have your sight. And for the one thing, before she went to her grave, and she lived to be 97 years of age, my grandmother used to always pray and hope that she'd never go daft, as she called it. She didn't want to go blind, she wanted to see around her. And I'm appealing to you now, Minister. You promised us that time over a year ago that you would put legislation in place to ensure a bilateral arrangement would be put in place to ensure that we could continue this service after the 31st of December. Micheál Martin, the Taoiseach of our country, I'm sad to say, when he was asked a couple of weeks about this, he was smirking and laughing, but it's no smirking or laughing, Minister, if we're going blind, or if we're threatened with going blind, if we're roaring with pain in the middle of the night, and that we need to get your hip done, and that we're told here that we'll have to wait 2 or 3 years to get an operation in Cork or in Tralee. It's not fair to do that to people, and the Taoiseach is promising some centre in Cork, but that will take over 2 years or more before if it ever comes to being. I'm asking you now in this government, it will be no laughing matter. And we'll remind you every day of every week that we're up here for whatever length of time you're here. If you're going to let people go blind in here, watch, we'll remind you of it. If you're going to let people continue roaring with pain, we'll remind you of that too, Minister. But I'm appealing to you, and I respect you for saying it but a year ago, but it looks like the Taoiseach has who stopped and that he has who grounded. I'm asking you to stand your ground and ensure that people in Kerry and Cork do not go blind because of the want of this service that we were supplying people with for the last 3 years.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Les Concord.
Thank you.